Talk to me about quantum possibilities, because it's something, I know possibilities is your favorite word. For people out there that are wondering, you know, what is a quantum possibility? What does it mean to have a quantum possibility? And how does the law of attraction manifestation work for people out there who go, damn, Charlie, you're doing it. I want to do it. What advice would you give people, and what does quantum possibilities mean to you?
I remember I'd walked away from my business. I completely got into a different mindset. I completely changed my frequency. I got rid of all the negative energy in my life, from the things of like being overweight and being like self-doubt and being depressed, and even the negative energy that I was around, like artists getting shot and killed, like me being shot at, my business partners being shot at. Like I was around a lot of negative frequency, which was also positive. My business wasn't negative, but there were negative things happening. But I completely transplanted myself into nothing but positive frequency, and all these crazy things started happening in my life, and my tone changed, the words changed, my vibe changed, my frequency changed. And I'm in the salad shop, Sweet Green, and this guy walks up to me. He overheard me talking to somebody, and he said, "You're very quantum." I said, "What? What does that mean?" He said, "I can tell by the way you talk, you're able to attract things easily into your life." I said, "Bro, you have no idea, bro. Like all these crazy things have happened to me, but I'm scared to talk about it because I don't want people to think I'm weird. Like I'm from hip hop, I'm from the South. I don't say the word manifestation, like law of attraction, like I know what it is, but it sounds kind of hocus pocusy." Right. But here I have a quantum physicist saying, "You're quantum?" It's like, bro, like, what does that mean? He said, "Let me teach you about quantum physics. Let me teach you about how you've been able to do everything you've been able to do your whole life and how you've been able to attract things." I said, "Sign me up." I want to learn all about it. To where he explained quantum physics in a simple way. I would actually like to explain on a whiteboard. Could I bring a whiteboard over here?
Yeah,
and
absolutely, yeah.
So I'm gonna explain this in the most elementary way possible, okay? The basics of quantum physics, without getting too nerdy, is this. Scientists did a test called the double slit test, okay? And there's a wall that has two slits in it, like you see here. This is one slit, this is the other slit. And they took an atomic particle, let's call it like a rock, okay? It's a piece of matter, right? Or so we thought. And they would shoot it at this wall. We would think it would go through one or the other. But what did they notice? It was going through both. How is that possible? If I were to take a rock and there's two holes in the wall, how can it go through both at the same time? Einstein, as smart as he was, when he saw this, he said, "Whoa, I can't explain this. I don't like this." Come to find out, the only way to go through both holes at the same time is to realize that this atomic particle is not just a piece of matter. This atomic particle is a wave. Now, if I was a wave, can I go through both at the same time?
Absolutely.
So what are we all made of?
Atoms.
There we go. So check this out. It goes to the next level. Say I had a pond. Say that's a pond. And I were to drop 3 rocks into the pond. Those are separate, correct? Correct. But if they're all waves, the waves at some point all collide and are entangled. So you're telling me that I'm here and I want a Nike deal and it's there, that I'm entangled with it? Me and Nike are connected? Because if we're all waves, then that means out there in the world, we're all entangled. I'm just a rock in the pond, and what I want is a rock in the pond, so that means somewhere in here, I'm connected to it. If I'm connected to what I want, then I can get it. Double slit test. This is where it goes to the next level. We now see that an atomic particle is a wave. They were spooked out by this, so they said, you know what? Let's put a camera right here. We're going to put a little camera right here, and we're going to look only at this hole, and we're going to see how this atomic particle acts. When they put a camera, an instrument on this hole, this only goes through this hole. It no longer acts as a wave. If they look at it, it now gives it direction. When they close their eyes and don't look at it, it goes through both. When they look at it, it only goes through this one. So every atomic particle acts as a wave until we give it focus, and then we can direct where it wants to go. They put the camera over here, it now directs over here. So if everything is an atomic particle, everything is a wave, that means everything acts as a wave until we focus on it. That's why they say law of attraction. What you focus on is what you get. Quantum physics explains the law of attraction. Everything is this fuzzy wave until we give it focus, and then it materializes and goes where we want it to go. So what do I do every single morning? I wake up and I tune my frequency. Let's think about a radio. A radio is this thing that reads waves called radio waves. And it can listen, think about it, a song is flying through the air right now. And then like this radio thing can listen to something that's invisible. Like, I know we're used to radio waves, but that is like magic.
Right.
It's like hocus pocus magic. If we rewound a couple hundred years and I'll say, yeah, so there's this thing flying through the air right now called a song. And all I do is like tune this thing and then we can hear it.
Yeah.
What? That's magical, but that's what we are. So if everything is a wave, how do I turn myself into a radio to be able to tune my heart to what I want to listen to? If I say, I want to listen to hip hop on a radio, all I do is tune to a certain frequency. Now I could hear hip hop. Well, what if I want to tune to the money station? Or what if I want to tune to the success station? I could then receive that. So I treat myself as a radio. I'm trying to tune to the station so I could get what I want to hear. So I go into my notebooks every single morning, quantum possibilities notebooks. And I've been doing this for years. These are notebooks ever since I was a kid. I didn't call them quantum possibilities notebooks back then. But like this is a notebook, like I'll show you, like I'm in high school here. This is a letter I wrote to Joe Rogan. I wanted to be on his podcast, and I just wrote him an open letter. He didn't respond, but you know what? It was worth a try. But
he will soon.
He will. It's already done. Time hasn't caught up yet.
I love that.
So like if I would look through, I would write down all the things that I want when I was a kid. Like this is old school stuff, like push-ups. Like here's my push. I'm trying to get fit. Like I'm in high school. I'm like super overweight. I'm like doing my dad's like rental property numbers. Like he had rental properties. So I'm like what it was, what it is now, and the money difference. So I was like, as a young kid, I'm doing this. But as I get older, you'll see the quantum possibilities. Like this is January 18, 2018, right? Let's tune to one of these pages. And I'll say something like quantum possibilities, money is abundant. My cameraman will change my life. Oprah is ready to work with me. Like, I wanted to attract Oprah into my life, and then her producer of 25 years walked right into my life and produced my whole Bike Across America tour. I had no relationships with Oprah. It was a freak accident how it happened. I would write
Can you get into that story, just for the audience who might want to know?
So,
from the moment you wrote it, walk us through. Someone could, watching this, could see the bite-sized steps, or listening to this could hear like, holy cow, how did it go from pen to paper to reality?
This is a great page. The title of this page is This Is Easy. I'm literally saying everything I write down is going to be easy to have into my life. I'm accepting the fact that things don't have to be hard. Why can't it be easy to get what I want?
That's right. I do the same thing.
So number 2, I say, hire full-time cameraman and editor. So I'm writing that down every day, trying to get a cameraman and editor, and I just couldn't find one because everybody told me what I was looking for was crazy. And I would write this down every single day. I just moved to LA. Nobody was there. And then on this day, Quantum Possibilities, number 2, says, cameraman and editor search and found today. It will be easy. I'm sitting on my couch. An hour after I wrote this, I look behind me, the door opens, my roommate walks in. In comes behind him a guy holding a camera. My roommate works for a health food company, Whole Foods, and I'm like, what are you doing hanging out with a cameraman? Like, you've never hung out, like, why would you do that?
Yeah.
And he said, well, it's just, I just got a random phone call from somebody, and they said they wanted to use something in the house. And I look at the cameraman, and I was like, you do video? He said, yeah, I like freelance. I don't really know how to pay the bills doing this. And I said, do you do music? Because I was looking for somebody who can do the scoring. Right. And he said, yeah, I used to be a rock star. I was on the Warped Tour. I did music back in the day. I was like, wow, he's a cameraman, editor, musician. I said, do you do color grading? He said, well, yeah, I use Da Vinci. This is the highest level of color grading. Yeah. I'm like, bro, can I hire you? And what's crazy is my cameraman walked in my front door. I had been calling everybody I knew. Nobody could refer me to somebody with all these requirements that I had. He walked in my front door. This goes to the next level. A week before he walked in my front door, he's 36 years old. His friends are older. They had a meeting. They said, why are all these kids who are 20 years old shooting all these cool Nike commercials and we're not? Walks in my front door. I ask him if I can hire him. I take him out to lunch, and I said, I have an idea. I want to shoot a Nike commercial. Because I would write down in my notebook every day. Look at this. I'd write down. Quantum possibilities. Let's see. Look, Nike wants to work with me. I am a Nike athlete. This is the most far-fetched possibility of all time. If I told anybody, they would be like, yeah, Charlie, yeah.
Yeah, and you're overweight.
I'm overweight.
Never played a sport or on a part of a team, nothing.
And I'm attracting into my life. I'm literally, because I know, just like on the board, I'm connected to what I want, so I believe bigger. I believe it's possible.
You want to increase the frequency of it.
Bingo.
Increase the waves of it.
Bingo.
That's right.
So I'd write it down. We go out to lunch. I said, I want to film a Nike commercial, a fan-made Nike commercial. We spent $1,500 on it. We put it out. It's called My Story Isn't Over Yet, with this little bracket that says, insert Nike logo here at the end.
I love that one. I saw it.
Thank you. Nike calls me 3 days later and said, we don't know who you are, but you have our entire campus in a frenzy. We want to bring you up to Beaverton, Oregon. We want to work with you. Everything I dreamed of. I would write down in my notebook, I got to find the page. I would write down in my notebook very specifically that I want to be in a commercial with LeBron James and Serena Williams. That's a very specific request to send out into the quantum universe. Well, Nike calls me and says, Charlie, we have a surprise for you. We want to send you something. Let me get it. Nike sends me an astronaut backpack. This is a real-life NASA astronaut backpack that they gave me. And inside of it is this box that had this typewriter in it. Let me open this up. This typewriter was in it, and it came with a letter. Wow. Nike wrote me a letter. They said, hey, Charlie, we see you. You've shown us that believe bigger, believing big, believing crazy. You've shown us that belief is irresistible, that the crazy dreams are the ones that keep us going, that the skeptics cannot bring us down. We know that sport teaches us to believe in irrational dreams, and that if we can just chase those irrational dreams, we can change the world. We've watched you run 3 marathons, lose 120 pounds. We saw you become an Ironman. We even saw you bike across America. But we also know that your story isn't over yet. Here's a little something from us to get you started on your next journey. Love, Nike Running.
If you guys enjoyed that video, be sure to hit that subscribe button right now, because every week we bring you the very best in personal development content, interviews, and insight to help inspire you to take your life and your dreams and make them a reality. And also, if you want to know how to book dream guests the same way I have, you can check the link below for my top 3 secrets. So if you have a podcast or a show or whatever it is and you want to collaborate with them, if you click that link below, I'll give you those top 3 secrets to help you get in touch with anybody. And also, don't forget that The Passionate Few is available on media platforms as well. So you can subscribe to the podcast. And until next time, thank you for being one of the passionate few.